John Morant plays basketball next week.
Oh, really? I was. I guess that was kind of 25 games went by,
It
kind
flew
of low
by,
key.
but I mean, John Morant is back, one of the most exciting players in the league.
Yeah.
Xavier Tillman kind of talked about it on Gil's Arena this
Hmm.
week. He was just kind of talking about how like the Grizzlies stadium has been empty and like how Ja puts butts in the seats, so like they're excited for that.
Yeah.
Do you expect Ja to have like an immediate impact on winning, and do you expect him to turn things around for the squad, or like what are you expecting to see once Ja comes back? Because I mean, we know he's going to be highlight reel, putting butts in the seats, but like, do you think he's the answer for the Grizzlies?
I mean, absolutely, but I think it's still gonna take him some time to, get with the program, get with the system again. And there's new players there, so like kind of build that chemistry, especially because I mean, 25 games is a lot of games to be sitting out, and they're constantly playing games, and you just throw him in there. But it's got to be looked at as a positive. He's most definitely missing. Like you can feel it from the fans not showing up to the games to just the play on the court. And Desmond Bain was going crazy. He had like a 49-point
49.
game the other day, so he's been going crazy. I've always called him a role player. He's still a role player. He's just a really good role player. Um, but yeah,
200 M's?
hell no,
200
no.
M's?
200 M's is crazy. I
Okay.
think he's like a 150, like a max, like 150 or whatever. But I mean, again, I think Jordan Poole got something like 120 or 140 or something like that. So it's like, and he's better than him for sure. So, but nah, Memphis. I think this. I mean, we kind of talked about it. The season's a wash already. I think Steven Adams is so crucial to that team that
Yeah.
him being out, Brandon Clark being out, Marcus Smart in and out the lineup. It's just been a disaster overall, and I think that they should just ease Jaw back in, low key. Maybe go get a draft pick. But I don't think. I think it's wraps already for them personally. Um,
I think it'll be interesting. I
It'll
mean,
it'll for sure be interesting. Like it's definitely they're gonna be a team to watch, just entertainment wise, but not a team to watch to climb in the standings. Maybe
playing,
they can make the play in. Yeah,
playing,
maybe they
yeah,
can make the play in. But I think if they really want to do something, they need to go get a big. They need to go get another big.
for sure.
Bismack
Okay.
Biyombo is not the answer.
But for not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, not six, but $700 million, the Los Angeles Dodgers signed baseball super megastar Shohei Ohtani to a 10-year, $700 million contract, the largest sports contract in American sports history.
Crazy.
That's a mega bag. I couldn't even tell you what I'd do if I had that contract. I'd be outside tripping,
I said tripping. He don't
tripping.
even know what to
Hey,
do.
700
He's like,
M's, I'm outside early.
yeah,
Um, this total amount is more than any single NBA player has made in their entire playing career based off of their contracts.
yeah.
That's just kind of crazy to think about. What current NBA player would you sign to a 10-year deal? Who would you be willing to lock down for 10 years right now? Yeah.
Now
Who would you be willing to be like, yeah, 10. We need you here.
it's got to be Luca. I think it's got to be
Okay.
Luca. I think Luca would be that player.
Yeah.
Especially just under the circumstances in general. You don't want him to leave. I feel like if they don't put pieces around him, he has a chance to leave. But obviously, if you can lock him down, you can lock him down. I think he's one of those caliber players. I think Shea is one of those caliber players. Um, who else?
I know we're just talking about him recent. Hallie?
I think he can get there. I think I need to see one more season of
Yeah.
Hallie, but he's definitely is looking like it, right?
Yeah.
It's looking like it. Especially it also depends on what city you're in too. I mean, Indiana.
We need it.
Indiana might throw him that
We need 10
because
years. Yeah. We're not getting no free agents here. We need our guy here. Let's get
ooh, hold on for a second. And
10 years.
I just thought about something real quick. I'm sidetracking right now,
Yeah.
but Paul George back to Indiana. What would that do for Indiana?
That would give them the boost they needed, I think. I mean, I think that would be the boost they needed. That'd be scary out for sure. I mean,
Oh,
PG
Clipper.
he left there on bad ugly terms. So
Yeah.
I mean, it mended that relationship. The fact that he's coming home, he started his career there. He got his name there. And this fit wise is perfect.
Yeah.
Like PG is comfortable sharing the ball. He's comfortable being like a second option. Hallie could be the main ball handler. I think it'd be a seamless fit. That's funny you
Yeah,
said that.
I just seen that some on Twitter like, what? Oh, Paul George back to Indiana. Nah, but who would you lock up for 700 or just in general?
10
Yeah, like
years.
10-year deal. Yeah,
I think you kind of hit the nail on the head. I mean, it has to be a guard. I'm not locking down. I want Jokic and Embiid. They're very talented.
I think
Yeah,
Jokic because Jokic doesn't get hurt like that. I'd feel comfortable giving him the 10.
let's see. My thing is his commitment to the game, and like I just feel like he wins 2 more championships. Jokic could call it, bro. He'd be like, I'm good. So, that's how I
Yeah,
feel.
yeah,
He feels about
yeah,
hoop.
yeah.
Whereas to like, I feel like Luca. I don't know. I just feel like there's something different, just attitude
He wants.
wise.
Oh, he
So
wants to hoop.
yeah, he wants to hoop. So I mean, I think definitely you're picking a guard just because skill wise, a younger guard. So I think Luca. I think Shea. I threw Hallie in there just because of like his numbers right now are looking insane.
In shape Zion would be on that list too, but
It's hard for me to say Zion
no. Oh, you definitely can't say it. But I'm
because
saying
think
if he was
about
locked
think
in,
Zion is 23 right now.
yeah.
33-year-old Zion still, like what does 33-year-old Zion look like?
I
And it's
mean,
not. Whereas we know 33-year-old Luca is gonna be. He's polished right now. You know what I'm saying? Like imagine what he's gonna look like at
and
33.
his game isn't really off
Off
athleticism; it's
athletic,
all
exactly.
skill.
Where Zion at 33, a couple more knee surgeries, a couple ankle twists, whatever it is. It's like, what are we really looking at Zion in 10 years? That's why I think Luca's the only. That's like the best.
Yeah,
I
Luca
think that's
would.
your best bet.
Yeah, we thought, but man, I have,
Triple double on it before halftime.
bro. If I have a son, he's baseball.
Oh, early.
That's not salary cap, bro. See, and yeah, if there was, they can't do that in basketball. It'd be over.
With that, just
No
sign in.
salary
Oh
cap in
yeah,
basketball.
that's insane. Buy that kind of
They say he
contract.
Babe Ruth, bro. They say he's better
They
because
said he's better. He does
he
both
bro, he pitches and hits.
at elite level. At elite level.
I
So it's
mean,
just like,
it's one of those things though. It's kind of scary though because pretty sure pitchers do what that Tommy John surgery. So if he can't really throw his arm out like that. It's raps. That's
yeah,
why I haven't seen things like this contract could look bad and
overuse him or whatever.
yeah,
Yeah,
like over year 10 years is crazy.
10 years is fat. But I mean, that's baseball contracts. They be locking people down. Like we signed Julio to a 12 year, or we signed him to like a 6 year, but it has the opportunity to grow to like
Yeah, like we
10,
kind
8.
of. I don't think we finessed him because he's good, but he ain't nobody crazy, but he's definitely
He has the potential to be somebody
yeah.
crazy.
So I think
So I
his
mean,
contract's kind of weird, where like it
it's
just
structured.
grows with
Yeah, yeah.
his potential, like
With his,
as he climbs up.
if he's balling, then it like sort of
Yeah.
thing.
Who is the best non All Star
Hmm.
of all time?
Okay. So I conducted a little research.
Okay,
I have 3 candidates of my own.
you got three.
I have 3. There might be a little hometown bias here. Don't argue with me though. Don't
Oh,
argue
okay,
with me.
okay, okay.
I'm just letting you know I went and found my guys that I think should have been all stars.
Is there two guys from here on the
There's
list?
2 guys from here on the list. You might
Maybe
know which 2.
I think okay, good. Yeah, okay, I might know.
Yeah. So number 1, this is just kind of like one of my favorites. Mike Conley. I think Mike Conley not being
Does he count? He was an all star.
when
He was a replacement one year, like a couple years ago.
it counts though as an all star, just because you were out there, you were on the all star game. So
Yeah.
I guess Mike Conley don't count.
Okay.
I wanted him though, but I'll just give you my argument. I'll say Mike Conley just because 20 points per game, 6 assists. Like I feel like he should have got more love. Honestly, grit and
Yeah. Oh,
grind.
for
Like,
sure. Like he should have been an
he was
all star before that replacement. Like even that year that he was a replacement,
yeah.
that wasn't necessarily his best year. But
I'm looking at that stretch from like 2014 to 2018. He was averaging like 20 points.
that team
20.
was dope.
They were solid. They were a really fun team to watch. So I mean, I thought he deserved love just off that list.
Okay.
The 2 guys I'm really going to talk about though, Jason Terry.
Yeah.
I think just like scoring wise, he on his career he averaged 18 points per game. I mean that's obviously kind of like slanted just because he would playing time and his role diminished as his career went on. Whatever, like his last years in Houston, like he wasn't obviously getting touches like that. But I mean when he was playing for Atlanta and Dallas, he's really like one of the number 2 scoring option on those teams.
yeah.
He's putting up like good
He was on that
efficiency. Championship Dallas team shooting 40% from 3. He should have been an all-star at some point in his career. I mean,
Okay.
it's fair to say. Franklin High School, you know what it is,
Come
Seattle.
on. Yeah.
My number 2, that should have been all-star. This one I kind of understand. It kind of makes more sense to me why, and just because of his role on every team he played. Jamal though,
Yeah.
Jamal Crawford. 3 times 6 man of the year, leads all-time leader in 4-point plays. I mean, like highlight wise, just based off the highlights and skill,
He's
I
an
think
all-star
all star.
material play. Like he's literally a player meant to play
He's
in the
meant for the
all-star
all.
game.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing all star caliber stuff in regular season games. So I mean, you could go through his career and just the highlight reel itself is like all star material.
And
So
it's unfortunate that we'll never get to see the move he was saving.
for
Because he
the
always
all
talked
star,
about
yeah.
like there was a specific move, a special move he was saving for the All-Star game, and we never got to see it. So
But I mean, on his career, solid numbers. I think he's averaging like 14 points per game. Obviously slanted though because of his one his bench role and two like end of his career he was like Brooklyn, Phoenix, like he's getting like limited minutes. So I mean, I feel like those two, Jason and Jamal, definitely should have been all stars in their career.
yeah,
I can understand why Jamal wasn't an all star just because of his role, and him being that sixth man. Who do you think though?
it's gonna sound biased. It's gonna sound biased. This dude averaged 19, 4, and 4. It doesn't sound too crazy, but he currently plays for the New
I
Orleans
knew it. I knew.
Pelicans. CJ
There it
McCollum.
is. Yes.
CJ McCollum. I
I
say
knew
this
it.
because he's had career highlights. He had the block in Denver, got that game 7, basically saved the game. He was cooking that whole game. Man, he basically had the game. He hit the dagger mid-range shot at the end of that to get him to the Western Conference Finals. Um, he was part of an iconic duo with him and Dame. I feel like there's not a lot of non-All Stars who are tagged in as one of the best duos or the best backcourts in the NBA. And he was one of those players like,
Facts.
oh, like going into a Western Conference, oh, it's Dame and CJ versus, Clay and Steph. Like they were always one of the top backcourts in the NBA, and
They
he
were.
was the one that wasn't even an All-Star. I mean, maybe like probably if he was in the Eastern Conference during that era, he probably would have been an All-Star in the East, but I just think that he's one of the best bucket getters that we've ever seen. He's shifty.
Even during that
Um,
time when Dame was hurt, I think that's when he really came into his own. It was
he'd cook
all
up.
he'd cook up. It would just be like, "Yo, we're not missing a beat. You could run the offense through me, like ball
Yeah,
handling, scoring. I'm him." So it's just, I
and
agree with that.
and he was in conversations of, oh, do they trade CJ for Harden when Harden was asking out? It's like that was a real conversation that was being had. And most improved player, one of the years, he won most improved player the year that his first year starting. Um, so yeah, I think professional bucket getter, all of that. Someone who could also be considered not. How you feel about Jamal Murray?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I mean, I think last year he's had his flashes, but then I think the year he really commanded, he got hurt. So I think
Yeah,
that kind of really hurt him because that was going to be his All Star year. Like,
yeah,
so coming back from injury, um, it'll be interesting. He's always been hurt. That's his thing. I feel like it's always been injury with him. And then like you can't deny how effective he is on the court. I mean, he's an All Star caliber player, like
yeah.
obviously, but it's just like I think injury and just timing of it all has kind of thrown off his All Star trajectory. Just because like he should be out there. I feel like I'm surprised to hear he's not an All Star.
No, well, it's just like you said, he's been hurt during the times
Yeah,
where it's time to go out there.
yeah.
Um, and then the West is still very talented. Like I'm not putting him over Shea. He's not over Luca.
No,
He's not over Steph.
it's a
He's
deep
not.
guard pool.
He's not. I don't know if he's over Fox. No,
No,
and that's the whole guard lineup for the Western Conference.
yeah.
And it could be like that for the rest of his career. And he might never make an All-Star game just because of that. And he might be seen as one of the only non-All-Star guards to be the lead guard of a championship team.
Hmm.
Maybe other than Dallas, like we said, like Jason Terry was pretty much that lead guard.
Yeah,
I mean, it was washed up Jason Kidd, but like Jason
he was
Terry
taking the
was like,
buckets. He was
yeah,
getting the
Jason Terry
buckets.
was getting the bucks, right? So,
Not same with Jamal. I mean, in terms of their scoring from the perimeter, he's
but yeah, Jamal was more, but Jamal was the point. So yeah, he had the ball more in his hands. Like he was more ball dominant than even like Jason Terry was.
yeah.
But he might be in those talks as one of the best non all stars of all time, just because it's gonna be tough to get in. There's a lot of, and that's probably one of the reasons why Mike Conley never got in either, is because
Hmm.
it's just been stacked up in the West.
That's